Hey guys, DIY Maniac, John P here. Today's video, I'm going to be going over the steps for winterizing your leaf blower. In my case, it's a Husqvarna, but it's applicable pretty much to any gas operated leaf blower. Follow along. The first step we're going to want to do is emptying out any gas that we have left in the leaf blower itself. We never want to leave fuel in the system, in the tank, or in the carburetor over the winter season. Even though we treat our fuel, it's never a good idea as it could create some varnishing and give us problems in the spring when it's time to start it up. So the first thing I like to do is empty out the fuel reservoir just by opening the cap and dumping it back into my jerry can. With the fuel emptied out of the fuel reservoir, the fuel tank, we're now going to want to get all the fuel out of the fuel system, meaning the carburetor bowl. And that's easily done just by starting up the leaf blower and letting it run until it dies. Let it burn off whatever remaining fuel is in the system. So you're going to go ahead and we're going to start the leaf blower. So our typical procedure: prime it, choke it, give it a start. Usually just by emptying out the tank, it gets all the fuel out and there's nothing left in there to start the machine, but we'll give it a try. So just give it a few pulls. If she fails to start, it's because you've gotten all the fuel out of the system, so we know we're good to go, and we're going to move to the next step. The next step now is removing the spark plug inspection or replacement if needed, as well as we're going to fog, so introduce a fogging oil into the cylinder to help keep the cylinder walls and the piston lubricated during storage, so you get no corrosion buildup or hard starts the following spring. So we remove our spark plug cable boot from the spark plug. You're going to take your spark plug removal wrench of choice. Usually this style works best as you have limited space to remove the spark plug, so your typical automotive style won't work. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So counterclockwise to loosen the spark plug. And then we can remove it the rest of the way by hand. We take our spark plug out, soft brass brush or nylon brush, cleaning the spark plug. If it's heavily fouled, definitely replace. I usually replace mine every second season, and I'll clean in between. So I'm going to go ahead now and clean that up. With our spark plug cleaned up, we're going to want to check the gap. For this particular blower, Husqvarna recommends a 0.024 inch gap. So you take your feeler gauge, you slide it in, and you make sure you're respecting that gap. If you're not, you'll have to adjust accordingly. Before putting the spark plug back in, we're going to take our engine storage spray or fogger. It's an oil, and we're going to spray it into the cylinder and fog the cylinder. You don't have to go too crazy with it. Once we spray a little bit in, we're going to want to turn the motor over slowly by hand to help spread that fogging oil or storage lubricant over the cylinder walls. Once I do that, I like to spray just a little bit more inside to help protect the piston top. Now that we fogged the oil, we could go ahead and reinstall our spark plug. You're always going to want to start by hand so we don't cross thread. Once we get it started by hand, we can then take our spark plug tool socket and we can tighten it. It's going to be clockwise. And you don't want to over tighten like any spark plug install. Just snug without putting too much force, because you can easily strip those threads. We're then going to reinstall our spark plug lead or cable boot onto it. Next step is taking out, verifying, replacing if needed the air filter. So if you look on the back over the carburetor cover, there's a little thumb screw that you could release. And this is going to allow you to remove this back panel. And inside it, you'll see your air filter. This pops out. What I like to do, if it's not overly dirty, is just blow it off. If it's extremely soiled, you're going to want to change it. And you can buy replacement filters online or at your local small engine dealer. So in my case, it's not overly dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that up with some compressed air. With our air filter cleaned up, we could go ahead and reinstall opposite of what we did to remove it. Cover back on. And we could tighten up the thumb screw. Another good measure is always, before putting it away, cleaning up the machine. So taking a damp microfiber rag, cleaning up everything, opening up your different, in this case, it's a leaf vacuum as well. So opening up your impeller cover, cleaning out any leaves in there, and cleaning the overall body of the machine, putting it away for the season in a good state. Okay guys, well that was just a quick video overview of preparing and winterizing our gas-operated leaf blowers. Remember, putting in a little care at the end of the season will save you a lot of headaches at the beginning of next season. Let's take care of our equipment. Thanks a lot for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and keep looking out for those new videos. Until next time, guys.